Should I buy a single or multifamily home? After watching this video, you're gonna know exactly where I'm investing my money, but ultimately it might lead and guide you on where you should invest yours too. With all the laws that Joe Biden is proposing and all the changes that are happening with the capital gains and with the 1031 exchange, in this video, I'm gonna break down what those changes that they're proposing to make and how this really can affect you on moving forward with your rental portfolio, whether it's single family or multifamily. All right, first, let's talk about capital gains. First of all, let's go to the definition of capital gains. It says this: a profit from the sale of a property or an investment. A tax is imposed when individuals part with an asset and make capital gains on it. In the past, the capital gains tax was usually 0%, 15%, or 20%, depending on what tax bracket you sat in, and you would be taxed on the money that you made in addition. So if you bought a home for, let's say, $200,000, and when you sell it, it's worth $250,000. There was gonna be a gains of $50,000 that you would be taxed on. Biden is proposing with the new capital gains law to double the highest bracket, meaning it's gonna be 39.6%. And then if you make over $1 million in income, he's proposing that those individuals will pay 43%. What this is really saying, if you think about it, there's a silent partner in every one of your deals, meaning they're not really showing you how to invest your money. They're not really helping you invest your money. They're not throwing any money into that investment. But what they're saying is, if you make any money, I'm gonna make 43%, up to as high as 43%. They're a 43% silent partner in your business, whether you like it or not. So what is it that you can do to shelter yourself from this new proposed law? And how is it that knowing this will definitely change how you invest in single family and multifamily going forward? Now for the 1031 exchange, what is it? First, let's break this down. This is an IRS tax code that allows you, when you sell a property, the gain portion, like all the gains that you'd make on it, they're saying you can roll that forward. So let's say, again, the same scenario. You buy a home for $200,000. When you sell it, you sold it for $250,000. And now you have this $50,000 gains, right? Instead of paying taxes on that, the 1031 exchange allowed you to roll all of that money forward into a like property or one of more value. Meaning, as long as you bought another home that was $250,000 or more, you could defer the taxes and roll all that money forward tax-free. But what Biden is proposing with the new change on 1031 is he's gonna put a cap at $500,000, meaning any money above the $500K mark, you can roll it forward if you want, but it's gonna get taxed at that capital gains rate. And depending on what bracket, 39.6 all the way up to 43%. So let me break it down in that same scenario of a $200,000 home. Now, this mainly is gonna affect those doing the multifamily. But let's say a $200,000 home, you bought it, you've held on to it for a long time, and now that home is worth, let's say, $750,000. All they're gonna do is allow you, of that $550,000 gain, they're gonna put a cap at $500K. So you can only roll up to that $500,000 forward. The other 50, you're gonna get taxed with that capital gains. Now, let's go with that same scenario a little bit different. Instead of rolling forward, let's say you're at the end of your investment strategy, career, you're like, I'm done. I just wanna be done with this. And so you cash out and you're saying, I'm selling it, I'm not rolling it forward. And that same scenario, you bought it at $200,000, now it's worth $750,000. That whole entire $550,000, if you make over $1 million, is going to be taxed at 43%. If you make less than $1 million, not much of a drop. You're still gonna be taxed on that $550,000 at 39.6%. Ouch! So let's get to the point of what this video is all about. Is it better to invest in single family homes, or is it better to invest in multifamily? My answer to that is, it just depends. It depends on how big of the multifamily we're talking about. Are we talking about a duplex, or are we talking about 560 unit apartment? Now, with this new proposed change on not just capital gains, but specifically the 1031 exchange, you're gonna see a lot of people start losing their excitement for these big, massive 500 plus unit deals. Why? Because the government's gonna start putting their hands in it and start taking a lot of that money away. Hey guys, before I keep moving on and about this single family, multifamily, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell so it alerts you when we put out new comment, and show your love, hit that like button. Now let's finish strong. Let's get you involved on what you need to invest in going forward, single family or multifamily. Let's start talking right now. Now, what about single family? Well, first and foremost, over the past couple years, I've kind of been jealous. I haven't invested much in multifamily, not because I don't want to, I just don't know much about it. But I do love single family, and that's where I invest most of my money right now. And going forward, I can only see that that's probably gonna continue to be the case, especially with this proposed change. If it goes into effect, it's probably where all of my money's gonna go. Now, why is that? Single family homes, the ones that I'm purchasing, have a purchase price of about $200,000 or less. These are in areas that have incredible cash flow, meaning good solid rents, and more importantly, they appreciate. But because they're single family homes and they have a purchase price of $200,000, you're probably not gonna see any one of these single family homes appreciate over the $500,000 limit, where multifamily, the apartments, that can happen pretty dang quick. Now, the beautiful thing about single family versus multifamily, now I know I'm biased towards single family because that's what I really know, but these proposed changes should get you, like, hopefully awaken you to start thinking about what's going on. What I love about single family is you're probably not gonna hit, like I said, the threshold of that 500K with that proposed change with the 1031, but more importantly, the single family, let's say it does. Let's say for some reason you buy it at 200,000 and now it's worth 700,000. What can you do? Instead of rolling it forward and trying to get a new property, you can just maintain, keep that property, and just do a cash out refi. This is yet another strategy that no proposed changes have come to place, where you can cash out, grab money, tax-free, and use that money to buy more investment properties, more single family homes. Now, I'm not here to persuade you whether you should do single family or multifamily, but what I want you to do is really consider, and I would talk with either a CPA, a real estate attorney, start talking to people that are strategists that really understand these laws. I know they're imperfect right now, nothing's gone into play, but if they do, it will indeed change how you invest going forward. So make sure you're aware of them, know what's coming, know what can happen, and what will be the results if those things take place. My prediction, guys, is you're gonna see a lot of people switch their strategy, or maintain their strategy if they're buying single family, but switch their strategy to buying single family homes. I'm already starting to see that in so many different areas. I have individuals that I've been talking to that were so interested in multifamily, like the big apartment, that they're already starting to think, what is this gonna do for me? And they're already calling me, asking me if I have access to any deals right now that are single families that they can start putting their money into. So is it too late though to start buying single family homes in this bull market we're in? Well guys, if you're a subscriber to my channel, you know I talk a lot about wholesaling, and as long as you follow those strategies of wholesaling that I teach about and I talk about in every one of my videos, I say no, it's not too late. Because if you follow those strategies, you'll still be able to find homes at 50 to 60 cents on the dollar that still cash flow, and you can do it in markets that have great appreciation. All in all, single family is a fantastic way to invest your money, but more importantly, still be able to do it using the strategy of wholesaling. All right, guys, I'd like to give you guys each all a free gift. I've included a link down below to a free guide called Bad Properties, Big Profits. And ultimately what this guide does is it allows you to find all the distressed properties that are in your current market or markets that you are looking to invest in, so that you know how to begin a great conversation with individuals that might be motivated to sell. Ultimately, guys, this is a great way that if you have this guide to start building your rental portfolio in as little as 30 days.